How's my lighting? Should I turn my ring light on?
I don't know.
Let's
Hi,
see.
everybody. We're going to turn a ring light on.
Is that
Oh, that's
better?
nicer. I like
Okay.
that. Yours is just so
Okay.
pretty.
I'm ready for my
Beautiful
close
long
up.
hair and stuff. Oh, by the way, everybody, it's Lois Lane from You Do You. No, I'm just kidding. It's Adonica Albert from You Do You, unfiltered with, I love your name, Celia. Celia. What's
Thank
it
you.
mean? What's it mean? Do you know?
So my name, it means
Oh, I'm
I'm
thinking,
not sure what the name exactly means, but
yeah.
anyone who's familiar with biology will know that cilia are these little hairs in your lungs.
Oh, I was gonna go that way.
Little
I love
hairs
the
that dance
sign.
around in your lungs.
And just before you got on here, you were kind of dancing and shaking stuff off. So we're
I
good.
love dancing.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting because I was just before we started recording, because we're going to talk about some stuff. I was looking at your email and I said you should, it's like Madonna. Because you do self-expressedbabe.com. Hey, but it's hey at self-expressed babe. And I think that's such a great website. So
Well, that's my email.
email.
Self-Expressed Babe is the website, and then hey, that Self-Expressed Babe is my email.
Hey. But you also have a podcast too.
Yes,
Openly
openly
spoken.
spoken.
Yes, and
Hmm.
I've been on it and it's fabulous, which I was running through it today looking at what more I can listen to because I've downloaded a bunch of it.
Oh, thank you.
Be fun, 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 fun. So yeah, but now you're here with me. And last time we were doing a podcast, we were talking menopause, but we're gonna skip over that today and we're gonna go right to you. So because it's about you today. So I am going to introduce you, which is kind of great because I you're so funny. Well, maybe you don't have your page, do you? Because you're cute.
I don't even remember what I
Oh,
wrote in the intake form.
yeah. Okay. Well,
And I also, like a month ago, decided on like what my niche is. So I'm not sure what I wrote in your
okay.
thing,
Well, this is what you
but
wrote.
I'm here for whatever I wrote. Let's do
Celia,
it.
Celia, with the little hairs in your lungs, is a self-love, sensuality, and relationship coach for women with a background in teaching yoga and meditation. Right. The main group I serve is women who are in their first healthy relationship after a lifetime of toxic dating platforms. There must be about 99% of the world's like that. Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind
Okay.
of.
So what I wrote is in line with the niche. Yeah. I work with
See, what is the niche though? Are you going to tell us?
ambitious women with a history of toxic relationships who
Hmm.
desire to reconnect to their sensuality and who
Uh-huh.
desire to feel worthy of receiving healthy love.
That's like a chapter of a book right there. And you can expand on that because I believe there's a lot of women out there that are sitting in that same chair doing the same thing. Yeah, I gotta get out. I gotta get out in the world. This is toxic. I gotta leave. Especially with the old business model of you're a mom, you're in the workforce, you're a mom, you're a laundry, you're a cook. So I think that's so cool that you could do that because to be honest with you, sexuality, it's so much work for me.
Yeah, and we're also not taught about our sexuality
No.
enough, especially like when it comes to female sexuality.
Yeah.
It's so varied as well. Female
Yeah.
sexuality is so varied. There's a lot more variety than if you compare it to men's sexuality,
Well, yeah.
and
Yeah.
we're just not
Yeah.
educated on it.
Yeah, men can just talk about it forever. Don't you think? Like, I wish I was
That
up.
as well, there's no shame for men
Yeah,
typically.
right.
But for women, there's all this shame. So then we're like afraid of our own bodies.
Yeah.
And that, in my opinion, that creates problems in all areas of life. It's not just relationships and sexuality. Like it affects our confidence,
Oh, everything.
yeah, everything.
Well, even when you think about it too, because we had spoken about this long time ago when I was on your podcast, is that as women, and I was born in the 1910s and just kidding, 1960s, we weren't really, we weren't, you had to wear a bra, but you didn't wear the sexy crop tops because God forbid you walk out of the door like that because you'd be turned around back to your room, get changed, and come back down decent again. But that's not talking about sexuality.
Decent.
you're not exposing anything. And God forbid, I can remember my mom said, I remember when my aunt bought me my first makeup, she's like, you're not wearing that. I'm like,
Oh
okay.
man.
At first, I
Yeah.
like, you're like, first of all, I wouldn't know how to put it on. I still don't wear makeup.
Yeah.
But I think about it back then is that it wasn't a big talked about, they told you about sitting down and you got it in school. You don't get it in school anymore. We got it in school. If you had any questions, you would go to your mother or the boys would go to the father. It wasn't like
Hmm.
a group family chat. Now, let's talk about the penis and the vagina at the family table, right? So when I think that's where it started to get pushed down to the bottom because that wasn't important,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So now we're getting more vocal about it because of how
Yeah.
we move through the changes of life,
Hmm.
right? So we've had babies,
Hmm.
we get like all the menopausal, we go through another butterfly freaking effect, and we're still not happy with our bodies. Right?
Yeah. And like, not to mention, there's also that added pressure from the beauty industry
Absolutely,
that's
absolutely.
telling us you have to be young and wrinkle free and perfect. And the beauty standards are always changing.
Yes, yes.
And yeah.
I guess I don't know if you remember this. I remember when it was a Jamie Lee Curtis. She did a side by side shots of her all done up and photoshopped, and then
Mm.
did a side by with nothing, absolutely nothing. And I was like, "Excuse me, what? What just happened?" Like, oh, because now with AI coming out, you can change your whole appearance. You could have done it on Snapchat anyways, but I
Yeah.
sit there and I'm going, this is not good for girls. This is not good.
Yeah.
Boys don't really give a shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, girls are definitely more affected by it. There have been couple of books on it. I have one on my shelf, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
Oh, what is it
Haven't you written a
called?
book?
I haven't written a book yet,
There
but
we
I'm
go.
in the works of
Yeah.
writing a memoir.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I think I've
I,
had a unique life story that I'm feel
we're gonna get to that because
ready to share.
I have it on the other side of this page, some of your uniqueness. So
I
if
wonder
you're,
what I shared in
I'm
there.
not
We'll
telling,
we'll
I'm not
see.
telling. I just read it actually. I always read just about maybe 10 minutes before while I'm playing with my
Hmm.
lights and stuff. I always read about 10 minutes before and I'm like, oh, well, we'll get to that.
Nice.
So tell me, if somebody was coming to you, who is your general clients? Like what, like anybody, everybody, or do you support all ages or certain ages?
Yeah, so my favorite groups to work with are women who are approaching 30 and beyond,
Mhm.
because I feel like once your 20s are starting to come to an end, that's when there's that added layer of like, I'm getting old, and like that kind of never stops for women.
Yeah,
Um, and so that's like the age group.
right.
And I work with women who are both single and wanting to stay single and just prioritize self-love and relationship with themselves.
Yeah,
And I work with women who are already in a relationship,
right.
but it's either their first healthy relationship and they're feeling like, oh, I'm gonna mess this up,
Yeah.
or it's a long-term relationship where they're noticing that they are putting productivity, they're prioritizing productivity over connection. So
Yeah,
the thing in between there that I don't support people with is like dating. Like I'm
yeah,
not a dating coach.
sure. Probably make billions if you were.
I could. The thing is, there is a certification for that I'm planning on doing. I haven't done that yet. Not that I don't know if you like fully need it, but also I have never been on dating apps.
Either.
I've always met my partners in person, and
Yeah,
now dating is all, on the apps. So I
yeah,
don't even know if people would resonate with like what I would do with dating, but it's
yeah,
definitely on my radar as
yeah.
something that I
It's
might
changing.
do. Yeah.
It's changing a lot because I know my son has met some of his girlfriends on dating apps, but he's 25. Myself, I'd be more
Hmm.
cautious not to. I'd rather go on a singles cruise or something. Actually, I'd rather be by myself,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
I'd rather just consistently
Yeah,
go to
yeah,
certain community events. Like for
yeah.
example, every Sunday I go to ecstatic dance.
Ooh,
I'd rather go to
wait
things
a
like
minute.
that and make friends and
Exactly. You don't have to sleep with
yeah.
your friends. It's nice just to have that conversation of getting together and having, because I think
Community and having
yeah,
your people come
community
from
is huge.
community. Yeah. Instead of random people on the internet. And that
I
kind
don't
of
want
scares me.
random. When you get to my age, because you're a lot younger than I am, and you get to my age, your community becomes very small, but the people that are in your community are held very high, and
Hmm.
they mean the world to you
I
because
bet.
not looking for that blasé friendship. It's nice to have friends, but that community is what people at my age are looking for. The support, the love, the ones to reinforce what you're thinking, the ones that are your cheerleaders is what most people at my age are. Now you get to my
Yeah.
mother's age, their community's dying because at 83, they're losing a lot of good friends. So they're
That
again,
must be so scary.
yeah, well, I guess, well, I hear about it a lot. So it is kind of scary. And that's in my community right now, moms and dads are passing, right?
Mm,
So
yeah.
it's a different kind how it works through it. And I guess when you hit that person that you're going to work with, you're gonna have to find what works for them because you probably have that gift to do that, right?
Mm, hmm.
Yeah, you have a gift. You do. I know you're the most calmest person ever.
Oh, thank you.
You're so
Yeah.
calm. You're like, I just had a coffee, so maybe that's why I'm so hyped up, but I'm just kidding. Um,
I've been practicing actually meditation and yoga for 10 years.
yeah. And
So
you
I
teach
think that's where,
meditation. Do
yeah.
you teach it?
Yeah, I teach it in my sessions.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I used to teach actual classes when I lived in New York
Oh,
City. I would go to corporate offices and teach
teach them how to
like
do
a
it.
half-hour block of meditation
Nice.
during their lunch break. It
Yeah,
was really awesome.
so great. So
Yeah.
great. Yeah, and I like meditation doesn't happen. So when I first got introduced to meditation, meditating, I was like, I can't sit for 15 minutes. Like that's not who I am.
Yeah, that's the thing too. You don't have to
You
sit
don't have
and you
to.
don't have to be
No,
still.
no,
Like there are many different ways,
yeah,
especially if you're working with someone who maybe has like
mm,
ADHD
yeah.
or some sort of neurodivergence. I think it's very important to let people know like you don't have to sit still.
Oh,
You
no.
can
Okay,
move.
quick question. You just said a
Hmm.
big word, neurodivergence. Now I've
Hmm.
seen this a lot on Facebook.
Hmm.
What does that mean?
So neurodivergence is, I think, used to describe anyone who's on that spectrum of like ADHD or autism, which is a spectrum.
Okay.
So I don't know the exact definition
That
to
will
be
just,
honest.
yeah. Because
But I
they
definitely identify as someone who has some sort of neurodivergence,
oh,
and I haven't been like fully diagnosed, but I have taken a couple of like tests,
yeah.
like written tests, and they've all told me I have high functioning autism, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to like go get like diagnosed officially one day, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. I remember all the quizzes that we used to do as growing up at your age. We were in a magazine like Glamour. How
Oh,
to
I
find a great
remember those
boyfriend.
too.
Oh, yeah. Had you
Or in
do
Cosmo,
oh,
Cosmopolitan.
Cosmo. Oh, I know. We just learned how to grow your hair. Why is your hair not growing? Like it was the funniest thing. We would just sit there and do those little quizzes and you call your girlfriend, did you do the quiz? And then you compare the answers. It's hilarious. But we're changing now. We're changing. I'm glad you said answer that question for me because I was actually going to Google it later because I had thought there's a lot of people that I notice when I go into Facebook or somewhere like that, they're asking help for neurodivergent children. And I'm like, what
Mm,
that means.
yeah. I actually think that maybe everyone is
I
neurodivergent
think so.
because the opposite is neurotypical, which
Yeah.
could be AKA normal, but
Yeah,
who's to say what is normal?
I'm not
It
normal.
makes no sense to me. Yeah,
Who's not
nobody's
normal?
normal.
Normal.
Because what does
Normal.
normal even mean?
Yeah, there's no normal in our society. There's
Yeah.
none. And I hate that because everyone's so unique and different and weird and lovely all in one. And why do we have to label? Labels are bad. That's what's wrong with our society with young girls. Labels.
Mm,
You can't like I just know myself going on TikTok and every second TikTok is how to get rid of my wrinkles in my under eyes. I'm like, well,
mm,
it's that's the problem we're labeling, and I think that's where neuro because they don't have a proper term for it. Let's just give it something, and
yeah.
it sounds medical, right? So yeah, it's crazy. So tell me more about you. Tell me more about you. Come on.
More about me. What do
Yeah.
you
Where do
what
you
do you
live?
want to know?
I want to know where you live. You live
I
in
live
California.
in Los Angeles,
Oh, you do? An
in
earthquake
California. Yeah, we've had
recently?
several this year actually.
Didn't you like just
Nothing
around?
too crazy though. Nothing too crazy, but it's happened a lot. Quite even like when I've recorded podcasts, I've just been
Yeah.
like, it's just the whole room is shaking right now.
Well, you need a bell, a little
Yeah,
bell.
like the
Okay, so
bell they
yeah,
have at Trader Joe's. Do they have Trader Joe's by you?
no, we have no Trader Joe's. It's not my favorite store down in the States when I go shopping.
Oh,
Stores?
Trader Joe's?
Yeah. Is that your favorite?
I didn't get what you asked.
I said, is it
What
your
my
favorite
favorite store
grocery
is?
store? Come on.
I guess mine is Whole Foods.
Yeah,
I
we
like
have
Whole Foods.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whole Foods. Yeah, Trader Joe's was kind of it was good to go into the first time and the second time, and holy cow, that's expensive.
Trader Joe's here is actually pretty affordable. What I don't like about it is all their produce is usually packaged in
Oh
plastic,
yeah, 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 yeah. So you don't get fresh
and it's
stuff.
just annoying.
Why don't you get fresh stuff? You live in California.
No, I do get fresh stuff. I just
Yeah.
prefer to go to Whole Foods because it's like
Oh, sorry.
loose instead of in packaging.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So tell me about your summer. Did you have a good one?
The summer was really great.
Yay.
Yeah. I'm
Like
immediately
your
going
eyes just
to,
glowed. They just said, "Poof."
yeah, I immediately went to this memory where I led my first in-person women's circle this summer.
No, where? On the beach? Where?
No, it was in someone's house. It was at a friend's house actually in
Oh,
Vallejo, so like in the Bay Area.
oh,
And there were four of us total.
nice.
And it was like right before we were going to Ecstatic Dance up in Oakland.
Okay.
Have you ever been to Ecstatic Dance? They
No.
have them everywhere.
I was going to ask you because you mentioned it before. I was going to ask you what that is, but first of all, I want to know.
I highly recommend going.
Okay. Okay. But what about this women's circle? What was the basis around this circle? Is this something you were going to,
Yeah. Yeah,
or
this is something I want to do more of
okay.
once my husband and I are moving to Cincinnati, Ohio in April.
You
So
are?
then I'm going to be leaning into more in-person work
Okay.
um,
Okay, question why?
for
Why?
his job.
Okay.
Yeah. And also we're done with
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Our chapter here is coming to a close.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're ready for something new.
Nice.
Um,
Okay, so you have this little women's circle, four of you, and what's the premise? I want to know.
yeah, the theme was reflection because we were all in the coaching certification that I did all of 2023. We
Okay.
were all in that space together,
Yeah.
and all of this year we had all of this year to complete our graduation requirements. And it
Wow.
was a lot. It was a sex, love, and relationships coaching certification. So it
Okay.
was a lot
Yeah.
of personal work, a lot of client practice hours.
Yeah.
So we just took the time to reflect
Mhm.
on all of our growth and our own like connection and relationships because we'd been connecting we have a call once a week together
Nice.
ever since February of 2023. We've been very consistent with having a call.
Nice.
So yeah, I think there's something very powerful about getting a group of women together
Yeah.
and to really share from this space of sharing to be heard
Yes.
rather than sharing for someone else to be like, you should do X, Y, and Z. Like, no, you're just being heard and witnessed instead of being quote unquote fixed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's very,
Because we are fixers.
yeah,
Are
we can
fixers.
be.
We can
Yeah,
be.
we
Men are
can
better
be.
at it. Not being a fixer. This is where I wish I had a little bit of men gene in me. Why? Because I am a fixer. Well, I'm not. I used to be a fixer. I got to fix everything. Got to fix everything. But I found it really heavy, heavy to fix everything. But I like that space because it's a safe space. And if you have to talk, you listen.
Yeah, and women are often socialized to be caretakers. So sometimes
Absolutely.
the fixing can come from that caretaker
Caretaker of the
personality,
world,
caretaker of the world. Yeah.
pretty much kids, husband, your mom and dad, your brothers, like of the world. And then we carry a lot of weight on our shoulder, like a knapsack, like on our backs, just
Yeah.
be able to share and not being told this is what you do, X, Y, and Z, like you said, and that's a safe space, and that's beautiful. Do you ever think about going taking that online and doing it like through a Zoom?
Yeah, I've done a couple of them online. This time was just my first time doing it in person.
Okay.
And it is powerful online, but it's even better in person.
Yeah, I betcha. Yeah. Well, when you have
Yeah.
people up in Canada over here that say, okay, well, I'd like to do one.
Yeah.
I could travel
Also,
there
when
a
it's
little bit.
in person, you get those
Yeah.
beautiful moments of like, there was one moment where I like turned and one of the other women turned as well. And we just like smiled and had like a moment of eye contact. And like, I still think about that today.
Yeah. I know.
And it's
You can
just
see the
so
light in your
special.
eyes. Yeah. Yeah. But you can see the light in your eyes. That was like, wow, a wow moment for you, kind of.
Yeah.
It's just lit you up. Well, I'm hoping that we could do one maybe one day on a Zoom with my peeps up here because we're all older now and you can guide us old people. Maybe get into a deep indoor. It's so funny because I hear a lot right now with women going through menopause about their yoni or whatever, their vagina, whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
And
yoni.
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 Oh, is it not a yoni? It's a
No,
yoni.
I
Damn it.
thought you were saying that like menopause makes you yawn a lot.
Oh, it makes me yawn too. Oh, it's a yoni, not a yoni.
Yoni.
I tell
Yeah.
everyone because we talked about it, we're all saying Yanni, and I'm like, oh man, no one's ever corrected us. Well, I'm going to tell them today. I'm not today, but yeah, we kind of need to talk about our bodies because of the
Yeah.
change everything's going through, and that's kind of what I kind of like that circle where you can come and be honest, like
Mm-hmm.
and share the space where someone might go, oh yeah, me too, or just listen. And I love that idea.
Yeah.
Okay, go back to the dancing. Because you know what? When I flip this over and tell me something quirky about you, and you're funny. I love listening to music in languages I don't understand.
I do.
Something about how music is a universal language, and yet how the words could mean absolutely nothing to one person and a whole world to another. Another person really fascinates me. So, and then you say that you have a playlist of Punjabi. Is that I said that right?
Yes, you said it right.
Hip hop.
Punjabi hip hop.
Hip
Yeah.
hop. I don't understand even one word. And you put an emoji in there, by the way. And that's fancy emoji. I've also been really into this Ukrainian folk quartet lately called, oh my God, Dakha Braka.
Dacha bracha.
Dakha Braka.
Yeah, you
Okay.
gotta be guttural.
It's like it's my mom's Ukrainian. And I remember
Okay.
I lived in Germany and I thought German language was really angry language. But Ukrainian language is a really angry language because it's
Yeah,
really,
German's actually very soft. My first language was actually German.
right? So Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, yeah.
Wie
Or
geht's?
like I love you is ich liebe dich. Like it's
Ich
soft. It's not
liebe
like
dich.
like it's
That's sad.
not.
But I just said that. Say that again. Da, ha, bra, ha.
Dacha bracha.
Okay, should just have to have a run to it though. Nice little smooth run.
Dacha bracha.
Yep. You wrote, I don't understand a thing. And whenever my husband hears me playing these songs, he's like, what is she doing? That's what you wrote. What am I, what? Okay, but so the dancing that you do, does that go with the music that you have?
Yeah, so ecstatic dance is actually an event that I go to that they have all over the world. And
Oh,
then the music that I described that I listen to, I guess that's me kind of doing the ecstatic dance practice on my own at home.
right.
Um, but should I start with explaining what
Yes,
ecstatic dance
please.
is?
Go with the
Yeah.
ecstatic dance first. Maybe even show us a move. I'm just kidding. You don't have to show us a move. It'll be on YouTube. So if you want to watch the moves, you can watch the moves. I have no idea. I've never
Well,
heard of it before.
yeah, well, there aren't specific moves because the whole premise of ecstatic dance is moving to the beat of your own drum and allowing your intuition and your body to kind of take over.
Right.
And an ecstatic dance event, I hope that after this call, you Google your
I'm
city and
totally.
ecstatic dance,
Yeah.
and that anyone listening Googles their city with ecstatic dance after, because they have them everywhere. And it's basically a place that you come to, and there's no talking allowed on the dance floor. There's no drugs and alcohol allowed, so it's like family friendly.
Mhm.
Um, and they play this music set that's intentionally starts off kind of slow and it builds up to this momentum
Okay.
and then it goes back down so that you
Okay.
build up to this place. But what's beautiful about it is eventually there's always, I've been to ecstatic dance maybe 15 times,
Oh,
and there's always a point in the dance where people are, dancing in a circle together,
okay.
or we're doing things together, but we're not
Mhm.
talking and
Yeah.
we're like communicating in this
Yeah.
way that's beyond words.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like one
Yeah.
consciousness in a way.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
It's
it
hard
makes
to
sense. Yeah, it
explain.
makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny you said that because when I went to Seattle and we hit this place where have you seen the headset that you put on and then you listen to your own music while someone else is listening to someone else's music? Super quiet. But
Hmm.
you're listening to your own music. You picks your channel. Kind of reminds me of that because you have no idea what the guy over there is listening to, but he's dancing away, and you're like, "Who? He's dancing," and then you're dancing away, and you're listening to something else. But what I did is I sat down with my girlfriend. I said, "Let's just watch. Let's
Hmm.
just watch everybody." And we had our headset, and I was kind of like, "Wow, like look at these people just having super duper." Yes, they maybe some of them were drinking, who knows, but super duper fun because not everybody likes the same music.
Yeah.
It gave him that I don't know, kind of like a freedom to listen to because my husband and I, he's a heavy metal guy. I love TLC. I love the rapping and the slow and there's ugh, seriously, I really do. And he had his headset on, I had my headset on, and both of us are just looking in each other's eyes, dancing to our own music. It kind of
Nice.
reminds me of that kind of
Yeah.
where it's a community that you're having a great time with the person next door, but who cares what's in her head because it's in your head too, but it's different.
Hmm.
Kind of.
That's cool to have the different music.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And you had
It,
like 5 channels that you can pick from. I never
five
heard.
different genres.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And you were like, oh, I want her music because she was a
Hmm.
winner. And then you're like, too late because the song's gone. So when you do that, how many people are at this like, dance? How many?
So the one I've been to in person in Oakland, I want to say it's like 100 people.
It's almost like a rave.
It's almost like a rave, yeah,
Yeah.
except no one's on whatever they
Ecstasy or
take to
drugs.
go
Now, did
raves.
your husband go?
My husband is not a dancer.
Neither is mine.
He's not a dancer.
Yeah.
And even last summer, my brother got married,
Uh-huh.
and my husband danced with me a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he kind of like stood on the sides and was like
I,
mingling, and
yeah,
I was dancing the whole time. I'm like, I'm at a wedding. I'm gonna dance the entire night. That's
absolutely.
just me.
Yeah, that would be
And he'll
me.
just like watch me. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
He's not a dancer, but it's nice to be able to have that like hobby of like going
yeah, something
to
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 do.
dance if it's
Yes.
something you love, because you don't have to do every single thing with your partner.
No, no, no. Ah, trust me, I know.
Absolutely not.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. We have our things that we do together, and I love the stuff. So when I'm by myself, my music's turned up really. I've like got stuff going, and I'm singing and dancing. It just
Yeah.
is. Dance is like you said, is a universal language
Yeah.
where you can. Because I'm so curious sometimes that you'll get. Well, let's just take Ed Sheeran, and he'll go to India and
Hmm.
he'll sing in English. And everybody's dancing and knows the words in English, so that community has come together to sing that one song he's singing. And
Yeah, and they probably don't know, or
and they
maybe they
don't
do
even
know the
know what they're
words.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And I love that you love music because so do I. Do you play an instrument?
I don't, only because I haven't committed to practice. But I do have a keyboard and I like sometimes just improvise on it. And my husband's like, oh, that sounds really good. But I haven't like made the time commitment of having consistent practice.
Yeah.
But if I did, I think I'd be really good at the keys or the
Yeah.
piano.
Yeah.
I also really have a dream to learn how to just shred on the drums. Like that looks so fun.
Yeah. There's a drum set right in front of this computer. It's one of those silent ones that you put a headset
Oh,
on.
cool.
My
I think I'll
husband plays.
need one of those because that's the reason why we don't have one. It'd be way too loud for the
But
neighborhood.
You know how funny it was when he was in a band. He's not anymore, and he'd be practicing in the office clothes, and I'd be in my room, and he'd be playing, and I'd be like,
Hmm.
"What the hell is that song?" Like it would drive me because you could catch the beat.
Especially since he likes metal, he's
Yeah,
probably
I was
doing
like,
some
and
crazy, yeah.
he was with an 80s band, so I was like, oh my God, is that
Okay.
Beat It from Michael Jackson? And then he would come to bed. No, it wasn't. I was like, oh, I can't pick it up on the drums. But he would have his headset on and he would drum away, and it's so fun to watch him do that. And he loved
Yeah.
it. He loved it, but it was easy squeezy. You didn't hear anything. He could just hear it in his ears, which is,
Hmm.
but again, a
Yeah.
universal language, right? So music
Yeah, I
is
like how with drums you're using your whole body. That's
the
probably why,
workout.
because I love it. It's kind of like a dance as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then if you had your Apple Watch on, you'll get like 1,000 steps. Or stand up. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's yeah, absolutely. So I love that you love doing that, and I love that your husband loves watching you dance. Because my husband
Yes.
watches me dance too. So maybe one day we'll get to dance together, you and I.
That'd be fun.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun. That'd be fun. Let me just see. I'm gonna see. Okay, so hey, tell me about the quartet that you listen to, because I love that you listen to Ukrainian music, 'cause my mother does too.
Oh, Dacha Bracha.
Yeah. Why don't
Yeah,
you?
I really like their music.
I'm gonna Google that too.
They've made me really fall in love with is it I don't know if it's the cello or the stand-up bass. Are those the same instrument?
I
Is it
think they
just
look the same. One's bigger than the other. I asked the question
yeah.
a couple of weeks ago because there was a band with a guy who had a cello. I said, "Is that a cello or a bass?" He goes, "That's a bass." I'm like, "What's it?" So I think it's a
Yeah,
this.
I don't know how to tell the difference.
I can Google that later.
But I like the sound of it, and
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
sound is like really strong in all of their songs. And they actually have a handful of songs in English. Like there's one song, I think it's called It's All For You. Let
Yeah.
me look them up real quick.
Yeah. You can. You can. All for you. I'm
Dacha.
gonna look. I love the way you said that. Duh. No, it's so angry, but it's not. It's sexy, but angry.
Yeah, especially for you. That one's in
Really?
English.
Okay, right now. Down.
Until towards the end, then they start speaking Ukrainian towards the end.
Okay.
But it's like folk music, I think,
Yeah, that's what you said it was. Yeah, folk music.
yeah, it's really good. My first introduction to them was a friend of mine sent their Tiny Desk concert on YouTube.
Okay.
And I watched it and I was like, wow, this is so good.
Yeah.
So then I looked them up on Spotify. And what's
Ta-da.
funny is you asked me earlier how my summer was, and that was the summer that I was introduced to
Say it
this
again.
band,
Come on, say what's the band's name?
Dacha Bracha.
I just love the way you say it. It just rolls off your tongue. Mine's like in syllables. Mm.
I think it's because German was my first
Yeah,
language.
probably. Yeah, I lived
Yeah.
in Germany for the longest time, so I was like, we spoke German when I was little, but as I got older, we kind of went to the
Okay.
Canadian side. But I was like, as a kid, we spoke German because all our friends were German, and
Cool.
yeah, so yeah, military kid here,
Okay.
love military. That's where I lived for about 14 years of my life in Germany. Yeah,
Cool. Where in Germany were you?
Bar.
Oh, in Lahr.
Yeah,
Okay. That's so
yeah,
interesting because I had a friend who we've been friends for 2 years and she just dropped casually that she was born in Germany too, and she
yeah.
was born in Lahr.
Bar. She must be a military kid.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was. Is she American or Canadian?
She's Canadian.
Maybe I know her.
Yeah, she's in Nova Scotia.
How old is she? Your age?
She's 34.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would know her. I'd be like your mother. No, we that's like that's was the best years of my life is traveling with my mom and dad over there. And then I got
Oh,
yeah, and then I stayed there for an adult as well. So it was kind of nice. So yeah. So as we end this lovely podcast, can you, my friend, give the women out there some little advice for us?
yeah.
Please.
I would say honestly, like I know it's kind of general advice, but I would say the more you can connect with your body and move with your body, the better.
Hmm.
And like from this place where you're not in your head about it, which
Yeah.
is why I like playing music in languages I don't understand, because then you're really just
Yeah.
moving with the music instead
Yeah.
of letting the lyrics mean anything,
Yeah.
you know? Um,
Yeah.
And really just making more space to dance, to breathe, to make sounds.
Yeah.
And something as simple as dancing for 5 minutes, like taking, even if you're listening to this podcast right now, taking a break for
Yeah.
one song, for the length of one song,
Yeah.
and just dancing
Yeah.
and breathing to it
Hmm.
can be just exactly what you need in this
Yeah.
moment.
Especially when we're coming into dark months up here in Canada. Because,
Yes.
yes, and
Yeah,
it
because it releases endorphins to move your body.
does, just like working out. But
Yes.
again, people just need to stop and take a moment, find that 1 minute of space, that length of a song or something that's going to
Yeah.
regenerate the body to get going.
Yeah.
It's really super duper hard sometimes for a lot of people to do that because they're exhausted from doing their daily life.
Yeah. And
And
dance
I
can be
mean,
such a great way to get that workout in.
absolutely.
Because working out can be really boring sometimes.
Totally is. Totally. But if you have an Apple Watch, there's a dance app on here that's a workout.
Oh.
I know. I know. I should put it on more often, but I mean, like, I go out to my friends going, "Oh, Dan, I don't like to finish the dance workout," and I'm like, "What? Yeah, what? Pole dancing? That's probably what I get back."
Have you ever done pole dancing?
No, but that's another thing I would love
It's
to do.
so empowering. I'd signed up for a pole dancing class for a couple of classes. One when I went through my first breakup where I was the one that was dumped. So I was like, oh, I don't feel sexy. So I was like, let me do a pole dancing class. And it's so empowering. It's so hard. I think it's
Why?
really good because it's a lot of like upper body
Upper
strength,
body
which,
strength, core strength,
yeah, lots of core strength as
and you have
well.
to be in heels. Are
Do
you in
you
heels?
have to be in heels? Maybe. I hate heels.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I don't wear heels
I
anymore.
hate heels.
I'm with you on
I
that.
like a good platform. Like I
Me too.
have these boots that are, it's like a platform and I love
Yeah.
wearing it because I'm
Yeah.
already tall. So I love
How
wearing,
tall are you?
I'm
You're
5'10".
you oh, you're taller than I am. You're little, you're
I'm
tall.
5'10" and I have these boots that have this maybe 2-inch platform and I love wearing them and being even taller and being like, yeah, I'm
Okay,
tall.
how tall's your husband?
He's the same height as me, 5'10".
Oh God.
Yeah,
I have
so
my
tall.
husband 6'4", my kid's six. No, my husband's 6'3", my kid's 6'4". There's the baby. And he's gotten big.
Yeah,
Holy moly,
he's really
hello.
grown.
He's like a
Can you say
Batman.
hi?
No, he's not. He wants, what do you have to say there, mister?
Meow.
Yeah,
You gonna say
no,
meow?
no, I'm not. But it's been a pleasure talking to you. It's so
Yes,
much
this
fun
was
just to
really
get to know
fun.
you a little bit more. It's so good. And then I'm gonna hook all
Thank you
your
for having
social
me.
your social media stuff there, and then I'm gonna Google. How do you say that name again? Bach.
Dacha bracha.
I know. Okay. And
And
I
Google
and
ecstatic
got it
dance
down.
in your
Yes,
city.
I'm gonna grab a bunch of women, and we're going.
Yes, it's such a fun thing to go to
Yeah.
with your
With
girlfriends.
yeah, with friends,
So
and
fun.
my husband can just stay home, whatever. But yeah, I think it's use make sure you're if you're listening to us right now, the CEO had such a great point. If you get to sit down and just if you're listening to our podcast and you want to turn us off because we're weird and we love being weird, and listen to a song for a minute and come back. This is the best way to reset the brain.
Yeah.
Reset it and reset the body and sway, move. Because as humans, we're not meant to be still.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
problem. We're getting too still. You got to move. There's a chaotic world out there. So stop and take a listen to yourself. It's very important. And if you need some help with your yoni, it's not yoni, is it?
Yoni. Yoni.
No, isn't that? I'm sorry. I was told it was yoni. Now I But if you want to talk to Celia about life and sexuality and getting reconnected with that part of your body, absolutely give her a shout. I'll put her email up, and she's wonderful. You're wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
So much for having me.
you're so super welcome, and we'll see you soon again, I hope.
Yes.
Yes, have a
Yes.
wonderful night.
You too.